We are now joined by Mr. Sandeep Pondrik. He's Secretary Ministry of Steel to give us his view on all the developments. Sir, thanks so much for taking the time out. Is this the first or the second of the many moves that the country would keep on doing in order to quote-unquote safeguard the domestic steel industry?
So yes, as you know that this is a provisional safeguard duty. DGTR had recommended provisional safeguard duty of 12%. So government has accepted that recommendation and Ministry of Finance has notified that yesterday. Now DGTR will finalize its investigation, hear all parties and give its final recommendations approximately around August, I would expect. So then government will take a final decision both on the period of duty, that is how long they will be in place, and secondly on the rate of the duty. So this is a provisional decision for 200 days. After the DGTR's final recommendation, government will take appropriate decision on safeguard duty.
12% numbers, sir. I mean, since morning we've been speaking to people and there have been debates about the number. So is this 12% a factor of the pricing differential that exists, which I presume was about 18%? So how has this number been arrived at, sir?
So basically the industry, the steel industries, they represent before the DGTR about the injury being caused by low-cost imports and dumping. DGTR takes that data into consideration, makes an investigation, and then basically arrives at a number in which, in its opinion, is adequate to safeguard the interest of the domestic industry. DGTR has provisionally found it to be 12% based on whatever data was presented before it by the industry as well as whatever data DGTR has. If certain new data is presented or certain new facts come into consideration, then DGTR can take that into account while giving its final recommendation. We also have to see that steel is basically not an end product mostly. It's used as an input to end products. So that also government has to balance that the cost of end products also remains reasonable while simultaneously protecting the domestic industry against low-cost dumping. So it's a balancing act for the overall economy.
Mr. Pondrik, this is Harsh also joining in. What's the take like with everything evolving globally? Because there's plenty of moving parts. Especially from China, because a lot of this will depend on how China responds with regard to everything that's happening. What's your quick take with regard to the impact of the global situation?
So basically, I will only talk about the steel sector. Sure. Out of about 1.8 billion ton capacity in the world, 1.1 billion ton is with China. India is at number 2 with 200 million tons roughly. So yes, the Chinese exports or cost of their exports impacts the international market. What we have seen in the last year is that of the 9 million tons imported into the country, steel imports, 3 major countries were contributing the most: China, Korea, and Japan. So if because of the international situation, the international prices of steel go down further because of excess production or other reasons, then it will have an impact on imports in India too. And I'm sure that when the DGTR makes its final investigation, they will take that into account if there are any changes in the situation. For now, I would think that the present duty seems reasonable for the domestic industry.
Got it. My final question, sir. if indeed this tariff war stays the way it does, and if indeed the exports of some of our neighboring countries and otherwise to US or the other end consuming countries, which were the top consumers in the past, doesn't quite happen in the same way, there might be more supplies that might be exported slash dumped into our markets and other markets too. So are we open to adding substantial other forms of duties as well in the ensuing next 6 to 9 odd months, if need be? Is that a consideration?
I would say that so one safeguard duty, which is on all imports, irrespective of from where the steel is coming, so that has already been imposed. There is second, which is a basic custom duty of 7.5%, that's already in place. It doesn't apply to countries with which we have free trade agreements. So about 60% of imports are from FTA routes, so it doesn't apply to that. Third is basically if from some countries low cost steel is being sent to the to India. Certain anti-dumping investigations are in place. Two investigations, the DGTR is the hearing has been completed, so they are almost at the final stage. One is for hot rolled coil from Vietnam. The other is one more steel grade from two countries. So there the government will basically DGTR recommendations. Let us wait for what the anti-dumping investigations lead to. There are 2-3 types of steels where anti-dumping duties and countervailing duties are already in place for specific countries. So that is one. I think another thing which government is trying to ensure is that we do not get low cost, low quality steel. So while cost is one parameter, other thing which the country has to ensure is that because we are ensuring that domestic steel adheres to BIS standards, we would also want to ensure that whatever is imported is of BIS standards. So that's another way to discourage low quality imports into the country from certain countries. So these are all the measures being taken by government to ensure that only quality steel is produced or imported, and second, that domestic steel industry, especially in view of the fact that we are the only major economy where double-digit consumption growth is taking place for last few years, and we need to add another 100 million tons of capacity in next 5 to 6 years. So that will basically need capital from the industry, and for that we will have to ensure that they get a level playing field on the international market.
Points well noted, Mr. Pondrik. Thank you so much, sir, for joining in today and giving us the perspective.